AITA for telling my ex-fiance's parents exactly why we broke up and I called off the wedding? Sorry, this ended up being kind of long. Tell her at the bottom. So, I met my ex-fiance Amy when we were both 27. Right off the bat, we hit it off. Pretty early in our relationship, Amy let me know that she had a pretty wild past. She wanted to be honest and upfront with me. I told her I didn't care, but I did have concerns about whether she was actually wanting to settle down, which I kept to myself. She had told me how her past had caused a lot of strain with her parents, but didn't really go into detail. I pushed all that aside and dove in. We had an amazing relationship over the years. I grew pretty close to her parents. I spent a lot of time at their house helping her dad with projects. We'd often all three go out to lunch. They are wonderful people. After dating for about 3 years, I proposed. Amy was ecstatic, but her parents were even more excited. We had what seemed like a fairy tale engagement. Ally was a coworker of Amy, and they became really close. Ally is one of the kindest and most sincere people that I have ever met. One weekend, Amy's friend Sarah invited her on a weekend trip to Vegas. Now, Sarah was not someone I liked. She was a friend from that time in Amy's life who was a very bad influence. She would pressure her to drink, do drugs, hook up, etc. I heard her call me boring multiple times on the phone with Amy and even told her that she should break up with me a couple of times, kidding of course. I wasn't thrilled about the idea, but Sarah invited Amy's friend Ally, which made me feel a lot better. Ally was a coworker of Amy, and we all became really good friends over the years. Ally is one of the kindest and most sincere people that I have ever met. They went to a club one night, and some guys were all over them. They invited the girls to their suite to penthouse upstairs, where they were throwing an after-party. Amy and Ally declined, but Sarah guilt-tripped them into going. During the party, Ally was alone and wanted to go back to their room and sleep. She went looking for Sarah and Amy to see if they wanted to leave or let them know she was leaving. She found them in a room. Sarah was hooking up with one guy, and Amy was having a threesome with 2 guys. The next morning, Amy begged Ally not to say anything to me, and Sarah said it was her fault. When they got back, Ally told me everything right away. To her credit, Amy did not deny any of it. She said she freaked out about getting married. I was crushed, but obviously called off the wedding and broke up on the spot. I had not told many people about what happened except my immediate family. This all happened 6 months ago. I saw Amy's parents at a hardware store a week ago. They expressed how sad they were that we broke up. Her mom, who I was close with, asked me what happened. She didn't think I was the cold feet type and could just cut Amy out of my life. I was so confused, but then kind of awkwardly clarified that when she was partying with Sarah, who they knew all about, she decided to cheat on me with 2 guys at the same time. They were sad but not surprised. They had hoped she was turning a new leaf. About 2 days later, I got a slew of texts from Amy. She was pissed that I told them and saw it as a way for me to get back at her by turning her parents on her. She said she gave me everything I wanted in the breakup and apologized a million times. It was true. She moved out immediately, worked out canceling wedding plans, etc. It was a clean break, no drama. That said, her parents were super pissed about throwing away our relationship. They told her sister, who Amy always competed with and hated, for shaming her constantly. Her parents are pretty well off and gave her sister and my brother-in-law a huge amount of money to get their lives started. They promised the same for Amy, but told her that they're going to just donate it since they don't want to finance her lifestyle. I kind of knew it might happen, but didn't really care. I would have been fine keeping it to myself until I found out she told them that I basically got cold feet and abandoned her. Amy said she always thought I was kind, but it turns out I was a vindictive. TLDR, fiancé cheated on me with 2 guys. I told her parents about it when they asked me months later. I knew it would cause a storm for her, and they might cut her off financially, but I wouldn't let her blame me for the breakup.